In the dawn of the world, when Eden bloomed in unshadowed splendor, a shadow crept into the garden of God. Satan, the fallen prince cast from the courts of heaven, burned with envy at the bliss of Adam and Eve. No longer free to stir rebellion among the angelic host, his malice found new purpose to draw the holy pair into the misery of his own ruin. With cunning heart and veiled intent, he sought to turn their love to distrust, their songs of praise to murmurs against their Maker. Thus did the serpent, radiant with wings of burnished gold, become the vessel of Satan's guile, lurking amid the boughs of the forbidden tree, awaiting the moment to strike. Heavenly messengers, radiant with the light of God's truth, unveiled to them the account of Satan's fall, how disobedience to the sacred law had cast him and his host from glory. The law of God, as holy as the Creator himself, was revealed as the very substance of order, the transcript of his love and wisdom. All creation, from the stars in their ceaseless dance to the winds that whisper through the leaves, bowed to his immutable decrees. But man, the crowning work of God, was given a higher charge to comprehend and honor the moral law, to walk in unswerving obedience, for only thus could the harmony of Eden endure. Like the angels, Adam and Eve were set upon probation, their paradise secured only by fidelity to the divine will. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil, standing near the life-giving tree of life, was their test, a single prohibition amidst a garden of boundless gifts. The angels cautioned them, should they heed Satan's wiles, their nature would be marred, their strength to resist evil sapped. Yet if they repelled his deceits, no harm could touch them, and the hosts of heaven would stand as their shield. But one step toward the forbidden, and the gates of ruin would swing wide. In the fullness of time the tempter found his moment. Eve, absorbed in her pleasant toil, wandered from Adam's side, heedless of the angel's warning. Alone she gazed upon the forbidden tree, its fruit radiant and fair, stirring in her heart a mingled curiosity and desire. Then came the serpent, its form dazzling as burnished gold, its voice musical with subtle flattery. "Yea, hath God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?" it queried, echoing her unspoken thoughts. Startled yet enthralled, Eve lingered, drawn by the creature's beauty and its promise of hidden wisdom. The serpent spoke on, weaving a lie as old as its master's fall. "Ye shall not surely die, for God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil." Deceived by the serpent's guile, Eve saw the fruit as good for food, pleasing to the eye, and desirable for wisdom. She touched it, and no harm came. Bolder now she plucked and ate, imagining herself ascending to a higher state, her faculties thrilling with newfound power. Yet in that moment the seeds of ruin were sown. Seeking Adam, she urged him to partake, repeating the serpent's lies. A terrible struggle tore at his heart, for he knew she had transgressed the divine command. But love for his companion, fear of separation, and doubt of God's warning overpowered him. He took the fruit and ate, binding his fate to hers, hoping the serpent's words might prove true. No sooner had they eaten than the light of their innocence fled. The robe of glory that had enshrouded them vanished, leaving their souls naked with the chill of guilt. The air, once mild and gentle, grew sharp, and a dread of the future gripped their hearts. In shame they fashioned coverings of leaves, unable to bear the gaze of God or his angels. The harmony of Eden was broken. The peace they had known was lost. Adam reproached Eve for her folly, yet both clung to a fleeting hope that the Creator, so abundant in love, might overlook their sin. Then, as was his custom, the great lawgiver came to Eden to hold communion with the work of his hands, his presence a flame of holiness. Once the holy pair had welcomed him with joy. Now they fled in terror, hiding among the garden's shadows. "Where art thou?" called the voice of God to Adam, piercing the silence. Trembling, he answered, I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. The Lord's question followed, unyielding as truth. Hast thou eaten of the tree, whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? Adam, unable to deny his deed, cast blame upon Eve, and even upon God. The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree. Eve, in turn, pointed to the serpent. The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. Thus did the spirit of self-justification, born of Satan's lies, take root in the hearts of men. The Lord pronounced his sentence. To the serpent, now cursed above all creatures, he declared, Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. To Satan, hidden within, he spoke of ultimate defeat. I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. To Eve he foretold sorrow and subjection to her husband, for her transgression had brought discord into their union. To Adam he declared, Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns and thistles would mar the earth, and by the sweat of his brow would he toil, until he returned to the dust from whence he came. Banished from Eden, Adam and Eve went forth into a world now touched by decay. The flowers drooped, the leaves fell, and the spectre of death loomed over all. Yet in their exile the Creator's mercy lingered. Garments of skins he provided, shielding them from the harshness of a fallen world. The tree of life, guarded by angels with flaming swords, was barred to them, lest they live forever in sin. But the promise of redemption endured, a seed to crush the serpent's head, a hope to pierce the darkness. A Saviour was promised, a Messiah that would redeem the fallen race. The Garden of Eden remained, a vision of lost innocence, its gates watched by cherubim. Long did men gaze upon it, renewing their vows to obey the law they had broken. The memory or Eden endures, and there is a promise of restoration. In the day of final reckoning, when a new heaven and earth shall rise, Eden shall bloom anew, its beauty unmarred, its inhabitants clothed in immortal vigour. Those who trust God and keep his commandments shall dwell beneath the tree of life. And the worlds unfallen shall behold forever the glory of the Creator's perfect work.